Hey guys, this will be the fifth tutorial in the Minecraft continuation series by Ulixava and Mr. Wayfarout. This will may be a short tutorial, but we're going to work on saving mobs as well as a proper sun and moon rotation system. Dragon Master did one before, but this one will be more realistic. So in the save and load, in the save void, will I just commented out the code because these things, well, they're already there, but they're just changes. In the for loop with the mob, just change that to component dot mob num as the mob number, and we'll also need to get the mob health. So save the mob health as well when you save the x and y. Don't comment it out, just keep it there. And of course we need to go to component and we just make a public static int mob num, as in the number of mobs, and that will be equal to 0 at the start. So just save that and go back into the save load. So above, inside the try catch in the save, we say component.mob num is equal to the mob size. According to the number of mobs in the game when you save it, that will set the number of mobs in the component. And then after we write out the blocks and the inventory, we want to write out the mob num as well. So out.writeInt component.mob num. And then in the for loop, change component.mob.length or size and change it to component.mob num. And then when you write out the ID and the x and y, also write out an integer and make it mob health. I'm just commenting it out because in this earlier version of the game there isn't any mob health, but it should not be commented out for your game. Then in the load, under the level at block, that after we read in the block level, we'll say checker.fix blocks. Don't say fix load, just say checker.fix blocks, because fix load will mess up. Fix load consists fix blocks and fix inventory, but they always end up with errors. So after we load the level, we just call the fix blocks function, and after we load the inventory, call the fix inventory function. I'm just commenting them out because they are not in this earlier version. And then after we've loaded the characters values, just load in the mob num, which is a component, the number of mobs. It will load it from that file, and inside a try and catch exception e, we'll say components.mob num, and before we get all the files, we'll spawn a mob. So based on how many mobs, the number of mobs in the game, we will spawn mobs using the spawn method we always use. The x and y will be 0, tile size times 2 for the width and height. And after we spawn the mob, we will set its x, its ID, its x, its y, and mob health. So mob health does not work and spawn does not work. But based on whatever mob you like to spawn, just say new on that particular mob, and the ID will change no matter what this is. So that's what the ID is for, and that's how to save and load different mobs. If it does not work, we'll then just ask for help, but that should work. Now in the sun and moon, first thing we want to do is, in this day frame, we I'm just putting it under here to make it a static. So public static int dayframe, and we'll make a new class, and we'll call it sun moon. First we make the sun size, so private int sun size is equal to 50, private int m size as in moon size is equal to 30 since the moon is smaller than the sun, and private int offset, just an offset from the rotation at the top of the screen, that will be 5. Now we need a radius, which is, we'll try to get the sun and moon at the center of the screen, and we want it to rotate away from the center of the screen based on the radius. So we'll say the radius is component dot pixel dot width divided by 2 plus the offset times 5. So that's based on the sizes. Then we want a private integer x, which will be equal to component dot pixel dot width divided by 2 again, and this time we minus the sun size divided by 2 since the sun is bigger. So that will center the sun and moon to the middle. The x value will be the middle of the screen, and the y value, since we don't want the y value to be in the middle and let the sun and moon only rotate in a circle, we kind of want it to rotate off the screen and under the moon will be under the screen while it's daytime, so we won't actually see the moon at the bottom of the screen. So we want the y to be an integer of radius, since radius is a double. Put those in brackets. Equals integer radius plus the offset. Now we're going to make a private double the default angle, which the angles using math, the sine and cosine only goes up to, well, I've tried random numbers and 6.285 seems to be the best, so I'm going with that. And then say private double sun angle is equal to 0, private double sun clip x, that's it's the sun's x position, I just use clip, which will be equal to x plus math dot cosine sun angle times the radius, and private double s clip y is equal to another integer, but this time it's y plus math dot sine sun angle times radius. We also want to do the same thing for the moon, so just copy these 3 lines, s clip y, s clip x, and sun angle, and we just change it to m as in moon. So these will deal with the moon, moon clip x, math dot cosine for moon angle, and moon clip y, math dot sine for the moon angle as well. And under here, let's just call the constructor, so public sun moon, but we won't actually be using anything in it. We will need a public void tick and a public void render using graphics G, and press Ctrl Shift and O to import that. In the tick method, we'll just copy these 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, paste it here and just take out the private double, since this is what will basically be changing in our tick method. Although I don't think we'll need to change. Yes, we need to change that. So this time the S angle will be, we always want to change the angle based on the time of day it is. So it will be more like a clock, and it will always, no matter how long or short you put your day, the sun and moon will work according to the length of each of your days. So we'll just say 6.285 divided by, open brackets, a double of sky dot day time divided by sky dot day frame. And then we want to minus the default angle, take away default angle divided by 4. So this will get the position of the specific time of day it is, which should be 180 degrees, and we want, since it's the sun, we want it to be above, so we just minus the default angle with half the default angle, which should snap it to the, no, I think it's 90 degrees and we snap it to above. And in the moon angle we also want this here, but this time we'll only minus the default angle divided by 4. So we minus a quarter of the default angle. In the render method, we say g.set color dot yellow, since it's the sun. And you can draw an image, but I'll just do a fill round rect. So g.fill round rect. We'll use s clip x. I think we'll need to put those as integers, s clip y, and s size, and s size. And now we'll need g.set color, and this time we'll say color.gray for the moon, and g.fill round rect int.mclipx, the moon clip, int moon clip y. The width will just be m size, y is m size, the arc height is m size. And since the moon and sun, we want to offset the moon a bit based on its size, so the x value will be moon clip plus, open brackets, s size divided by 2 minus m size divided by 2. And I think it's the same thing for the y, so just copy this and paste it right here. Now we need to go into our component and under the image we'll say public static sun moon. Then we want to define it as well. So we say sun moon is equal to new sun moon. That's where we call in the constructor. And we'll need to say sun moon dot tick sun moon dot tick, and in the render we want to render it after the sky but before the level. So sun moon dot render graphics G. And now in sky, let's just speed up the day and time. So since daytime is 200 and the frame is 100, that's actually midday, so that should be 12 o'clock. Let's just run it and see. So you can see that it is loading, and it's actually going out of the screen and under the screen so that you don't see it, because if we center the Y position to the middle of the screen, it will just be circling on the screen. But since we made it an offset, it will be going away out of the screen. So you can see that works. And if we speed this up even more, you can see it moves really fast because it goes along with the day and time. So let's put this back at 1000 and 2000, and it moves really slow. Well, based on the time of day it is. And at night the world should be getting darker as it is right now, and then back to morning it will start to get bright again. Well, that's how it's supposed to be, but this sky method is messed up. Trust me, it works. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Comment, rate, subscribe, and oh, one more thing. In the mobs class, where we make the mobs move, we'll say where was it? I think it's if is moving, in the jumping it says if can't move and not falling is jumping is true, which you would realize your mobs jump all over. It constantly jumps once it touches the ground. So just take out that too. If can move, which will only check if it's touching a wall, then it will jump. So the mobs will only jump when it's touching a wall. That's another optimization, and that's it for this tutorial. So if you have any questions, what you'd like to see soon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.